Hey guys, SuperCoach here. Today in this video I'm going to be giving you guys my round 1 review. So final score 2-1-6-1. Not terrible, not the greatest either, but it's definitely a better start than last year, so I will happily take 18k to start the season. Given how some picks went wrong and some went really right, I feel like, well, given the picks that went wrong, I reckon got away a bit lucky there, given I had some other big scores to make up for it. But yeah, just some disappointing picks. But we'll get right into it. First up, we got Sheasel. He got a 106. Yeah, 30 possessions. This is just sort of a regular Sheasel game. 106 though. I felt like he was a little bit underscored. He played a little bit of half forward, but I still think he's predominantly playing as that midfielder. Kicked 2 behinds, but just like imagine if those were goals, this would probably be a 130 plus score. So there's nothing to worry about with Sheasel. This is just an average-ish score to start off, but he's still turned up, so that's literally all you can ask from him. You got Jaden Shaw, 83. Now he was looking insane in the first half. I was at this game. I was very pissed off because I was a Carlton supporter, but oh well, what can you do? It's the same old Carlton. But yeah, he got an 83. He had like 65 at the half, I think. And I was thinking, oh my god, what a pick, Jaden Shaw. And then he was just nowhere to be seen in the second half. And I'm pretty sure Carlton sent Cottrell to tag him. And I'm not sure why. Like, he was doing good in terms of touching the ball, but he wasn't really having any effect on the game. And when we tagged him, things just got worse. So I don't understand why they did that to tag him, put Cottrell on him. It just made zero sense. But yeah, still got an 83, which isn't a bad score at all. It holds his price basically, but I feel like next week we could see a big score coming up. But it's put Atlanta, which isn't the best matchup, but I still feel like he can get it done. Yeah, don't be scared with the score from short. He was tagged, and I reckon he can bounce back next week with a 110 or something. I still have confidence in short. I'm not doing anything with him. Roberts, 95, was looking really bad in the first half. I think he had like 26 at halftime. And then he ended on 95. So he did well to get to where he ended up. Yeah, I think he could be top 6 defender, this guy. I have very high hopes in Roberts. Then we got Perryman. This guy's a dud. I don't know why I didn't look at this further. He was clearly going to be used to tag for Collingwood. And guess who he tagged? Jason Horne-Francis. Oh, that was so disappointing. And, I mean, Horne-Francis didn't even do that bad. I think he had like 25 and a goal. Just didn't really convert to SuperCoach. But, yeah, Perryman, you're a shitter, mate. 62. And since Collingwood have been using him to tag, they won that game by 91 points. So I don't think that's going to change. So I think Perryman has to go. Despite his decent performance last week, I think it's time for Perryman to go. Just a failed pick there. Probably should have looked into that one a little bit further without just blazing away and getting him. But it is what it is. Perryman, you're gone. Then we got Patton, 43. Got subbed out, and he was on 43 at three-quarter time. When he got subbed out, actually was it three-quarter? Yeah, it was three-quarter time. It was on 43, so I thought we were on for like a 70-60 score, and I was like, oh yes, this is fantastic from Patton. Keep it going. But then they just subbed him out, and he finished the game on a 43. So it could have been a lot better if they don't drop him. I see the potential. With Patton as a rookie, I still think he could do pretty well. But yeah, just disappointing that they did drop him there. Not drop him, sub him out. But it is what it is. Then we got Trainer with a 50. At first, when I fielded the Trainer, I was just like, oh my god, what have I done? A 50. Zach Reed and James Leake are probably going to get like 60, 70. I was like, oh no, this is bad. But it ended up being the best option. I mean, Leake got a 13, which is unheard of. James Lee got a 40. Zachary got a 45, which is incredibly average. So looks like Trainer was the best option out of all these defensive rookies, including Patton. So yeah, I think Trainer's going to be a very good rook. Like he got a 50, but I think he was heavily underscored. He had like 15 touches, a few marks, at like 91% efficiency. He was very efficient with the ball. And I saw him quite a bit in that game. So I think he should have gotten a higher score than this. I think this should have been a 60-70 score, but It is what it is. Supercoach likes to rob some people. Reading Leak on the bench. Leak was just disappointing. He's there everywhere, man. They chuck him everywhere on the field, whether it's forward, back line. Like, they're not playing in midfield anymore because Green's back. But yeah, this does look like a failed pick potentially. But oh well, it is what it is. Hopefully, in some later rounds we can have some freedom to get him for another rookie. If he doesn't play, that is. If he keeps playing and pushes out some decent scores, maybe he'll rise a little bit, but I think he'll get dropped, James Leake. Zach Reed, 45, average. Average. I thought he played a lot better than what he scored. I definitely think there should have been like a 50-60, but still, average score and average game. Essendon just look really shit in general, so it's a shame. Josh Dunkley, my pod super pick. I cannot believe this. I was umming and ahhing about him like 20 minutes before the Freo Geelong game because I wasn't sure whether I wanted him or Brayshaw. I had Brayshaw in for the past like 30 minutes and I just said, nah, I'm going back to Dunkley. And it paid off. A 173. This dude looked incredible. Top score for the whole round. That is amazing. I predicted this pick perfectly. I reckon he could average. I reckon he could average 120 through his first 10 or so rounds, and I think he can do that. A 173 is definitely a really good start, and I think with Neil copying the tag, he's going to explode even more. So I was right about that as well. But I'm very happy with this Dunkley pick, and glad that I could see it coming. And because he's relatively expensive, I don't think lots of people will jump on. So I think he'll stay sort of poddish, which is great. And if we look at the fixtures, I mean, he's got West Coast next week. He's going to score so well there. Then he's got Geelong. Then he's got Richmond. Then he's got Bulldogs. Then he's got Collingwood, St Kilda, Gold Coast, North, Melbourne, Hawthorn, Essendon, Adelaide. Like, up until round 13, I can't see this guy not averaging 110 plus. Like, oh my god. This guy's going to go massive. I think he's in for a huge year. He's got an insane fixture coming up, and he is just the only hard fixture he had in his early rounds, which was his Sydney game. He's got a 173, and so, oh my goodness, he's going to be such a great pick this year. I'm so glad I started with him. He saved my week, really. If it wasn't for him, I would have had a terrible week, but Dunkley saved it. Then we've got Rosie, a 128. Very happy with this. Yeah, just a good score. In a thrashing, to get a 128 is a wonderful effort, so well done, Rosie. You lost by 100, but you still got a 130, so that's fine. And he plays Richmond this week, so I might think of chucking the vice on him. I think I'm going to go... Actually, we'll talk about VC and see it later. We'll just keep it like this for now, but I think I'm probably going to vice him. Will Day, fuck you, mate. Like, I've never been heavy on Will Day. Never. Like, I've seen the potential, but I think people overrate him, to be honest. But because of all the hype and because of the opening round game, I was just like, okay, Will Day, get in the team. And then he just dropped a 77 against Essendon, which should be a relatively easy opponent. I mean, we were preparing for some tags when he faced Bedford in like what, round 3, round 4, whatever. But a 77 when you're not being tagged, it's super mid. Like, I'm going to get just this cash rise out of this guy because he's got a 49 break even, and then move him on to Callahan after his bye this week. That's my plan with Day. I'm not keeping him until after his bye, especially since he's got Bedford after this week, so I'm trading him out next week. But yeah, just disappointing from Day. Hopefully he can bounce this week. I mean, he plays us, so I think he could go pretty big there, because we have been fucking dreadful to start this season off, and I don't see it changing. Then we got Oliver, 93, was just mid. Like, there's a sense of realism that came in this game, because I mean, like, are we overrating Oliver? Are we overrating Dale? Are we overrating Ashcroft? Are we overrating these value picks? Like, what if Oliver just averages the same as last year? Like, he probably won't average the same as last year, but what if he averages just like 90 to 100 and it's just like a little bit better, but nothing crazy? So I don't know. Just start to think whether we overrated some of these value picks, but it is what it is. A 93 isn't terrible by all means, and he did play a hard matchup in GWS, and I'm not sure if Bedford went to him or not. So if Bedford went to him, this is a great score. So yeah, I think he'll be fine, Oliver, for now. Chera 106, lovely pick. Oh, I've been heavy on this guy since day one of the preseason, and he has not moved out of my team. And a 106, like, he was doing unreal when we were winning. He had like 70 at the half. But I mean, there wasn't much he could do when fucking Carlton were turning the ball over every possession they got. Handballing at 5 meters inside their defensive 50, past their teammate, straight into a Richmond open goal. Like, it was just a putrid performance. And when Carlton started going down, Chera started going down. So, if we can actually perform and keep it up, if we could have actually performed, sorry, I can't speak, bloody hell. If we actually performed the whole way through, Chera would have gotten a 130 plus for sure. But a 106 is 100% nothing to complain about, and he usually does good against Hawthorn, so I'm expecting another good score this week. Chera is going to be a good starting pick, I reckon. And we got Ashcroft. This was so disappointing. Like, probably my most disappointing mid-price out of these guys. I'm probably not going to trade him, though. Well, not mid-price, but value pick, you know what I mean? Probably not going to trade him, though, because he has got, as I said with Dunkley, the very easy Brisbane fixture. Like, he only got like 50% CBAs. Levi looked better than Will, which was bloody astounding. But, yeah, I think I've got a hole for this easy fixture. I think he could still push out, like, tons, hundreds most weeks with this fixture that he's got. So I'm gonna stick fat with Ashcroft for now. Worst case, I can move him on to like, downgrade into like an O'Driscoll or Ashcroft, Levi Ashcroft or something else. But for now, I'm gonna stick fat. I think he could bounce back. The CBAs were a bit of a problem, but we saw in previous years that Ashcroft can score even without the CBAs, and I think with his natural improvement, he could still average 95 plus this season. But yeah, just needed to have a bit of a better start here. But he has got the great fixture, so I'm gonna back him. I'll back Ashcroft to bounce back, but didn't look good on the weekend. He did get it behind though, so if that was a goal, it probably would have been like a 90 score. So yeah, I have faith in Ashcroft to bounce back for sure. Sardis 50. This is the most, definitely 100%, 1000% the most disappointing part of this week. Like, I picked Sardis over O'Driscoll, who I rated so heavily this preseason. Like, I wanted him so bad, but I just couldn't squeeze him into my team because I thought Sardis was going to have a better role and be better. And he did have a slightly better role. Like, he played buddy 60% game time, which was putrid. But he did get CBAs when he was on. But he scored a fucking 50. Like, he had 18 spells and one of the most ineffective, butchered touches I have ever seen. Like, oh my god, it was such a disappointment watching Sardis that night. And I mean, a 50 at that price, like, he'll make a little bit of cash, but fuck me. So disappointing. So disappointing for Sardis. I think he could be a bust as a player, but it is still pretty early to point fingers and say you're done and all this stuff. So hopefully Sardis can bounce back, but he was so disappointing. He gets Adelaide, which is an easy matchup, but very disappointing Sardis. Never 82 was one of the, probably my best rookie actually. Yeah, my best rookie in my team. So glad I fielded him. Pretty good there. Kako 62, liked this score. Loved the way he played. It was his first game. Kicked a lovely goal to start it off. -7 break even now. It's going to change with another decent score next week. I think you can lock this guy in for a 60 plus average this year. So I think I'm very happy to have Kako as a cash gear for now. So here's Isaac Kako. Didn't actually. I'll touch on Kako a little bit more. He didn't play any CBAs. I don't think. He did go onto the wing a couple occasions, but I think mostly just going to be that sort of small forward, electrifying small forward sort of guy, which isn't the best role, but I feel like he could still score well in it because of the quality of a player that he is. So, Kako, I'm happy with that. Hasty, 53. Now, this pissed me off because he was on like 43 at half time and then got subbed out. Like, what? Why would you sub out Angus Hasty? Like, there was so many people playing worse than Hasty, yet he still got subbed out. Like, it just made zero sense. And, yeah, he was going to be on for like a 90-80 score for that, so very disappointing there. But he still managed to get pushed up to him with 53. So that'll do the job from Hasty. If he can keep his spot next week, he's still going to be a good rookie. Campriali 56. Great game in terms of finding the ball, but he butchered everything he got. Like, there is no doubt that he played a part in the scoreboard of that game in round one. Like, he turned over lots of kicks, but it's his first game, so you can forgive him. It's the experienced ones at Carlton that you got to really lay into, but Camparelli's fine. He's going to get more experience, and a 56 in your first game is not terrible at all. In the rucks, we got Darcy Cameron, 74. This was so disappointing. Like, when you get a pod sort of pick, and this is definitely a pod pick, it's not sort of, but like when you get a pod player, you need them to perform. And for a matchup like Port Adelaide, which is relatively easy in the ruck, they won by 90 points. But you're telling me Darcy Cameron could only push out a 74? That is just, it's so disappointing. And when people have got like a Jerry or a Gorn, or even a Flynn scoring more than Cameron, it's something you can't have. And I'm heavily considering trading him out, but I think I'm just going to keep him, see how he goes against English this week, which is a decently easy matchup. Yeah, look, hopefully he bounces back. He had a nice score last week, so his break even is relatively low at 77. Maybe we just get a cash rise out of him and then move him on or something, but yeah, disappointing from Cameron. I got Pike as a loop because I wanted to take the Coney score, which probably was the right decision. Actually, I would have, yeah, I probably would have captain Shizel, so it probably was the wrong decision because Boyd, and he got a 63. He looks like he's going to make some very good cash, so it's a shame that I don't have him, but we got the loop now, so Boyd's just going to have to be one that we miss on, and I think his job security is a bit iffy, so maybe he'll get dropped or something. Yeah, but it's a shame we got this loop instead of a moneymaker, but at least we could take the Koning score, so it's fine, I guess. De Koning, 150 BC score, 148 to be exact. Wonderful. Couldn't ask for anything more. Was the only Carlton player. Him, Cripps, and maybe Chera were the only ones in the Carlton team that were actually playing for the jumper and trying their hearts out. Olga and Silvani, can't forget Silvani. He was phenomenal in the last quarter, trying everything to get us over the line. But we were just shit. Yeah. Very happy with this score from De Koning. He's going to be such a killer pick. Until Pitternet comes back, which I think, given the way things have gone so far, Pitternet will come back relatively quickly as soon as he's not injured. But yeah, happy to have this score from De Koning. Hopefully he can keep it up until Pitto's back. And then maybe we move him on to like a Jerry or Gorn or something. Then we got Jason Horne-Francis. As I said before, got tagged by Perryman. Still managed to push out an 83, which wasn't bad at all. I think he was another one like trainer that was heavily underscored. Had like 26 and a goal, I think, at 70 or 80% efficiency. So felt like that should have been a 100 or more, but doesn't matter. 83 isn't the worst. Yeah, we can live with that. He's definitely going to do better when he's not tagged in the coming weeks. And he's got Richmond this week, so he's going to explode there. Could even think of going as a pod VC option, but probably just safer to go Rosie, I guess. Rankin, fucking fantastic. Like, this guy only had like 40%, 30-40% CBAs, and he still did as well as he did. Like, I don't care where this guy plays, whether it's half forward, like midfield, wing, wherever you want to chuck him, he's going to be good because he's just that star talent, Isaac Rankin. And I could clearly see Rankin this season being an 105 plus averager in the forward line. I think him and Horne-Francis will be the two best forwards, which it was predicted. So happy to start Rankin. McRae did fantastic as well. Like, lock him in for a 110 plus average. He is going back to those prime days, I reckon. The only worry is because of how bad St Kilda did that they might try and switch a few things up, but I don't think they will. And to get a 127 in that bad of a thrashing is a great sign for McRae, so that's good there. Sanders, what the fuck? Like, I was so confident with Sanders. Like, I was just so confident with it. I thought he was going to really do well. And, like, because he was basically one of those main guys in the midfield. Like, he had Liberatore, what's his name, Richards, and then him. So it was sort of that third guy up, which is more than enough at that price to get yourself some decent scores to start the season. But he got a 64, played mostly like half forward-ish, kicked a couple of goals, yes, but he was just so terrible in the first half, and just like, even when he was winning the ball, he was just so ineffective. Sanders is one that I think I'm going to move on this week. Like, if it wasn't for Bailey Smith doing as well as he did, yeah, I'll probably keep him for another round or two, but Bailey Smith did fantastic, so we might have to get him, and he's got St Kilda this week. But as touching on to Bailey Smith, like, oh my god, when you have Sanders scoring a 64 around the same price, and Baz is scoring a 150, like, that's just fucking annoying. And Baz only had like 9% CBA, 9 CBAs in total, which was extremely strange, which means he played mostly either half forward or wing, which is a bit concerning, given that, like, he did as well as he did, yes, but can he keep that up if he's playing on a wing? I don't know, man. I think in the forward line it's okay. I still think he's sort of a trap Smith. Like, I was so confident Smith was a trap, and he just did so good to start the year off. But if he keeps playing wing and like just a little bit of centre bounces, I don't know. I think he still could be a trap, but I think given the own percentage, it's just someone what, like, 13 more percent of people are getting him, and he's already at like 70% owned. So this guy's gonna be on for the whole competition. If he goes nuts, you're fucked. So I think he is someone I have to get, even if he's a trap. But yeah, he'll do the job. Caleb Daniel 81, bit underwhelming. Bit underwhelming. Like, I felt like people were definitely overrating this pick. They weren't really factoring that. How old is he? He's like 30 something years old. He's a bit of a washed player. But yeah, I felt like players weren't, super coaches weren't really factoring that in when they were picking him, and they thought he was going to go insanely nuts. But if he could just keep going 80s, 90s, that's more than enough to offload into someone better later on. Yeah, that's fine from Caleb Daniel, I guess. Didn't get that much usage out of the halfback line, to be honest. Like, he got a little bit, but I don't know. He just didn't seem like the main man. He wasn't really taking control. Davidson 39, super disappointing. I think he was underscored, but still just super disappointing. Um, yeah, 39 is not what you want. And given he had like 80 in the preseason and 30 touches and a goal, everyone was so confident to field this guy, and then he just like stunk it up and got the most disappointing score on your field. Flynn as the flex, 87, fantastic. Got absolutely obliterated by Wits. And it's not often that this happened. Like, Wits got like 70 hit out. And it's not often that this happened, but this guy played a terrible game. Like, I felt like watching it, he was lucky to get 60 Supercoach, and he got 87. So this is one of those guys where I feel like, usually it's the other way around in my team. Usually people get underscored, but Flynn got overscored this time, but it's fine. He's in our team, so you'll take it 100%. But he did play which was an extremely hard matchup. He only got like 13 hitouts or something, but he did have 13 nice disposals and a goal, so that must have factored in too. Yeah, I think Flynn will still be fine. 87 against probably the hardest matchup in the comp. He's got McInerney this week, which is another hard matchup, but I think it's a little bit easier than Wits, so I think he could score 90 to 100 maybe. Should be right, Flynn. He'll definitely be right. Hewitt 52, Stone 42. Like, Stone really disappointing. His job security is definitely in jeopardy. Hewitt okay. Started really slow, eased his way into the game, missed a bloody sitter of a goal. But as he gets more experience, more touches of the ball, coming back from that injury, I feel like he can really evolve. He'll get better. He'll be fine. A large Hewitt, and the 52 isn't the worst given how other rookies have gone. There we go. So that's the team review. Let's go to the trades now. So Perryman 100% out. This guy, like, what a trap. Piss off Perryman and piss off Sanders. Sanders I keep for a couple more, but as I said, when you've got people like Bailey Smith doing as well as they're doing at that own percentage, you can't keep fading him. So we got to get Baz. and it gives us. I don't think I'm going to use a boost this week, just because I don't think I really need to. Like, sure, it'd be nice to have one of Lindsay, O'Driscoll, or Ashcroft, but I can just get a couple of them next week. And I'll just have to miss out on one, which is unfortunate, but I still think it'll be okay. So, yeah, I'm not using a boost this week. I might have to next week, but I just don't feel the need to next week. Better to just suss the rookies out and then use it if we really have to next week. Who have we got? Yep, Joel Frazier is the one I'm getting in now. I could get SDK. Yes, he played really well in the ruck, but I just feel like SDK is way too midfield sort of dominant. Like, he's not a good tap ruckman by any means. He gets absolutely walked over in the ruck. He gets barely any hit outs. It's just his disposals in the middle that really make him as good as he is. Let's just fix up this on a field. We'll touch on VCs and Cs in a sec, but yeah. Yeah, I feel like SDK scored a 109 in the easiest matchup in the comp for sure. I reckon Jackson and Reedy. Two very, very easy rucks to go against, I reckon. Yeah, and he only scored a 109, and yes, he was great in terms of getting a lot of touches, but you can't be reliant on that because it's not going to be every day where you win by 80 and you get like fucking all those touches there in the midfield from the ball playing easy rucks and staying in the middle. Wait, what am I talking? Sorry, I just had to do something for a second there. Yeah, SDK, too ball reliant, not good in the ruck. Don't know if I trust him yet. Can get him later, if Short or something, or Ashcroft. Well, not Ashcroft, but if Short fails or something in this defense, then I can get him with that. But for now, I'm gonna skip. Just because I don't think he's a good ruckman overall. He's just decent around the ground, but that's not gonna happen every week, so I don't think he can keep that up. Frazier looked fantastic. I mean, 29 touches and a goal, I think he had, or 28 touches and a goal. Played a little bit of midfield, a little bit of halfback. With Dale being that main guy halfback, Frazier still looked like he was going to be the secondary option, and if not, when Dale's more up the ground, he'd be the main option in the back line. Took a few kickouts, went in the midfield, did very nice things. So I think he's ready to break out. Was a very, very good rookie last year. Like, what do you average? 68 average in his first year, which is pretty good. And I think this year he's just going to take another leap up. Yeah, he's going to be a nice little pick. So, yeah, that's my team. Those are my trades. And this should be my team going into the week if nothing goes wrong with the team releases and all of that. So, yeah, Smith and Frazier in. Probably should have started Smith, but thought he was a trap. And, yeah, we're just going to have to bite the bullet and get him on this one. Whether he fails or not from here on out. Because the percentage is just too scary not to own the own percentage. And yeah, Frazier, I'm pretty confident in him too, over De Koning for now. He's got Collingwood this week, he should score well there, so happy with Frazier. VCNC, let's get onto that now. I think I'm just going to go the people I've got, Rosie and Dunkley. Like, I could go TDK again. Meek is a decently easy matchup in terms of opposing ruckman. But I don't know. It's just, it's a bit boring. Honestly, it's a bit boring going the same VC 2 weeks in a row. And I feel like Rosie could go like 160 plus. Sorry, headset just ran out of charge there. I had to plug it in really quick. Yeah, I think Rosie can go 160 plus against the Tigers, so he's going to be a must VC. And given that Dunkley is going against West Coast, oh my god, lock him in for another one of these scores, I reckon. If Rosie doesn't get like above a 130, I'm going Dunkley. I'm just going straight Dunkley. I don't care. Yeah, these are going to be my V and C options this week. But so yeah, that's looking like what I'm gonna do going into round two. But overall, not a bad round in round one. 2-1-6-1, not as bad a start as last year. We can definitely rise from this, and yeah, keep moving forward. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.